Welcome back to Radio Shack, here with another episode recap of Tales of the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Donnie Goes Deep. Whoa. In this episode, we kind of get a start off of how the East River 3 wash ashore, and we find out that they were actually kicked out of their home just because they were different and mutated. And that's how we get them out here, but as we continue on, as Master Splinter starts to tell a story, April says her phone battery is starting to run low, so we need to speed the story up a little bit. And he tries to skip to the end and skip over Donatello's story, which I thought was very funny. It was a funny joke. Sometimes the jokes are funny, I will say that. But as we continue on, we see that Donnie and Wingnut are going to go check on the generator, and the whole time Wingnut is having a anxiety / panic attack. And Donnie tries to offer Wingnut a banana, to calm her down. And it turns down the banana because it triggers her gag reflex. And I was like, hey, yo, what? But anyways, we continue on and we see that they have to travel down this tunnel to get to the generator. And it is, again, just like triggering Wingnut's whole anxiety and panic attack. And we get this little kind of backstory, well, not backstory, but kind of like a thing where Donnie is talking about how his brothers are so right-brained and think with just like instinct and emotion, while he is left-brained and thinks logically and gets them through these situations. I thought that was pretty cool, kind of like explaining how Donnie thinks compared to everyone else. To try to differentiate himself, But we're cutting back and forth in between Wingnut and Donnie to the East River 3 as they find out that the pearl that was the light and protection of their home was stolen and put into the museum, and they figured if they were able to get the pearl back and take it to their home, they'll be welcome back. So we're getting the origins and the story of why they're doing this, and it's another thing of just feeling empathy for the so-called villains of the arc, but also not going about it the right way, But either way, it's nice that we're getting this backstory. But while all that's going on, we hear Wingnut talking about she's a little worried about Leatherhead, as she feels like an outcast and wants to demutate herself and all that, until we run into a figure that's running across the sewers and they crash going deeper into the sewer. While they are trapped down deep into the sewer, they see they are being stalked by an alligator. Alligators in the sewer, the big myth that continues to go on in New York. But they're starting to think that it could be Leatherhead because she was talking about demutating herself and all that, and wondering how. And obviously in Mutant Mayhem they had to use the tranquilizers from the TCRI to demutate Super Duperfly, so they're thinking that could be what happened. As they get into a fight with this alligator, I would just like to point out again, there's a reason why Donatello needs a metal bow staff, because it breaks again for the second time this season, and he has to, instead of using a metal rail that was on the subway, he has to use a rebar this time to fight this alligator. So why can't we just, I hope this is a whole thing just to support my thing of Donatello getting a metal bow staff. Can we just do that, please? As we continue on, we see that as they're fighting the alligator, or should I say Leatherhead, and Donnie decides to think right brain and try to connect with Leatherhead, essentially. But as he tries to talk Leatherhead down, here's Leatherhead's voice, but it's not from that alligator, it's actually from Leatherhead themselves. And they come out, and Leatherhead is actually able to take down the other alligator by flipping it on its back. I believe the blood rushed to the head. Either way, great science way of taking down the alligator, but there was another one they had to worry about. And so they decided to use one of Wingnut's arms to use it as a extender to keep its mouth open. As they try to go to the other side to escape, they see that a bunch of the exits are filled with a bunch of rubble, and as they notice that things are starting to crumble through and somebody's coming through, they see that it is Raph, Ray Fillet, and Scumbug. Taking it back to the East River 3, we see they're connected with one of the criminals that they saw on TV to try to get help in stealing the pearl back to take to their home. And that's what we're leading into the last 2 episodes. This is a solid episode. I liked how we continue on telling how we got to the East River 3 and how and the reasons why they're doing what they're doing. And I like the whole thing between Donnie and Wingnut of just like trying to think logically, emotionally, you know, opening up, all that. It was just a great way to see Donnie just like trying to calm someone down. I thought it was great, and it looks like we're starting to get the gang all back together, starting with this episode, and we'll see how it goes. But other than that, of course, Donnie needs a metal bow staff. But what do you guys think of the episode? Comment below, join the conversation, and as always, enjoy my thoughts. Make sure you like, subscribe. Don't forget to pop that notification bell to be notified when I upload a video. And until my next video, I will see you later.